Hi, Paul Donovan here, avtechnician.ca, your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. Welcome back to part four of PowerPoint for AV technicians. If you haven't already looked at parts 1, 2, and 3, please feel free to go back and check them out. This video may not go very long because I'm going to tackle a single issue, and let's see how well I do. Okay? Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave me some comments below. I do try to respond. I definitely read them, but do try to respond if I can. If I can, and if it's worthy of responding. I don't know, I shouldn't say that. Everybody's comments are important, okay? Moving on. Part 4. Like part 1, of course, we showed you 2 of the basic tips that almost every event uses. Part 2 and 3, I discussed the idea of presenter view and comfort monitor. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to discuss how to run a third 3 monitors on one laptop. That's what I'm going to bring, and I'll try to have a little demo here for that so you can see how it works. So here's the problem, which is not unique because we've had this question before, but we're going to tackle it in a different way. The presenter wants to see the slides and notes from the confidence monitor or the comfort monitor. And this video is about using the third monitor. So the third monitor, which is available both for Windows and Macs, can all of them, Windows and Mac, unless it's an old computer, can handle a third monitor. Now, last I checked, Mac is restricted to a maximum of 3 monitors, but maybe that's changing. So Windows is technically capable. You can run multiple monitors as long as you have a horsepower in your computer to handle all those different connections. So the third monitor, you will need a device that will give you another HDMI port. Warning, don't try to do this with the oldest or the cheapest laptop on the market. Believe me, it will fail. And then you're not being very professional because you're going to be going, you're going to be using bad words because you're very frustrated with trying to use an old, dilapidated laptop or one that just doesn't have the horsepower. Don't be like don't buy a cheap one. So here's what you got to do. You're going to need to acquire a USB to HDMI adapter. Some of them come with drivers and others are just plug and play. Here you see on the screen 3 possible choices. The one on the right is the one that we used to use a lot. It needs a driver. It's just a USB plug and a HDMI jack. It just makes it possible. It needs a driver usually, not plug and play, although some of the newer ones are getting there. If you look at the middle one and the left one, these are some of the devices that are now moving into the USB-C world. The one in the middle is USB-C. That's the new tiny USB. Has that adapter and allows you to plug in an HDMI. In fact, I think the one I'm showing you right there has actually got 2 HDMI jacks, which means through one USB port, you might be able to run 2 monitors. Two. The one on the other side is more like a USB hub, and it's more of a dongle, and it can have a Type A or it can have Type C USB jack on it. Quite often people get these not only for the fact that it has an HDMI port, it also has extra USB ports, it has maybe an SD card reader, it has an Ethernet jack, and several other things that can happen with it. They're available in everything from 2, 3, 4, 5. I've seen as many as 15 different things happen on one of these little dongles. So these are some of the different types, but you do have to test it out with your computer first. Most of these devices require USB 3 or USB-C speed. USB-C by default is USB 3 for speed, and they're required. A lot of computers, laptops and hard and desktops, if it's got blue inside the plug, it's a 99% chance that that is a USB 3 capable. There's a few companies that get lazy and don't put the blue in, and when they do that, you're not sure if you're getting a USB 3 or the older USB 2. So A lot of these devices depend on having a USB 3, either the type A or the type C. All right. Another tip is not every Windows computer will take a dongle and allow video to be passed through it. I could go on for hours and hours with all the technical reasons, but if you happen to have a Windows computer that has a USB-C pole, but it is not a Thunderbolt, not Thunderbirds. That's a animated series. It doesn't have a Thunderbolt capability, which means it's not data. Well, it's only data. It's not. It doesn't allow you to do video display. So, like I said, you need to get an adapter and you need to test it out in advance. If you get an adapter that's got a USB-C and your laptop does not actually allow video passing through on a USB-C, then you need an adapter on the back end of it that will allow you to adapt the C to an A, and so on. But they still also are looking for the USB 3. So here we have our desktop set up, our computer set up to have 3 monitors, 1, 2, and 3. And if I hit identify, you should be able to see the numbers show up in the corner of each monitor. I'm going to click on monitor 1, and the settings are set. Now, if I want, I can have this display screen also to appear on one of the other desktops. So if I go down here where it says multiple displays, I hit extend desktop to this display. I have the option of having the desktop replicated on 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. So I'm going to hop on to 1 and 2, and the whole thing is going to do a little flip-de-doo. And all being well, you now see the desktop on 2 screens, and the third one is still got the raw desktop. And then when you're in PowerPoint, you need to choose the primary monitor, which shouldn't be correct. It should be BDM. There we go. And that will allow you to do your PowerPoint. And you'll now see that I have 2 of the monitors set up as the desktop, which is showing the presentation view. And the other one is the full-size slide that is going outbound. So you see how that works? If I also go to display settings and I say swap, now I have 2 screens that are full slide and one that is, how do I get over there? I got to get over there. So I got to get out of this, flip that, and use presenter view. And I go back to automatic. And if I do that, I should now see slides normal and the extra monitor is not involved. This is, as I suggested to you, this is a risky way of doing it because you have to remember how to do this. But what you do is you have the display settings, and in PowerPoint, you can actually have your presenter view show up on the other monitor. And when you do your show, it goes this way. You have 2 desktops showing, which means your notes, and the other one is the slides. Now, if you're doing a presentation this way you should be, the slide is the one that's headed to the big projector. Okay, so you would not see it here on your computer. You would see it on the big wall in the projector there. The other 2, this other monitor is what you would project up to a confidence monitor, which will give the notes to the person. And the person up at the front will want to see this. So this is a way to have 3 monitors set up, and you have them set up. And then to revert back, you go and show on one only first. You have to do that. And then you have to go extend desktop display to this display. And you should now end up with this number 2, extend desktop to number 3, and you keep your changes. And now you have all 3 monitors back and you're showing what you want to see. That's simple, but it takes a lot of careful setup because you want to be sure that everything goes according to plan. Does that make any sense at all? Thank you. We have covered a demonstration here of how to use a third monitor using the dongle, the HDMI dongle. It's complicated, and I hope I didn't confuse you, but it allows you to have one laptop having three, the laptop's monitor, the one that goes to the screen, and another one that goes to the conference monitor where you can put the presentation view in. That's what it's all about. So this is my channel. Please subscribe to it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave me comments so that I can know if I've been helping you out or not. I'm Paul Donovan, yes, and this is the channel avtechnician.ca, your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. I thank you for watching. Please come back. Have a great day. Goodbye.